Perdido, pero que nosotros todavía existe ambulancia.
1822.
He's saying two things. First is going back to what Mark was saying about that connection, the Caribbean and New Orleans connection, is that during the Haitian occupation of the island in 1822, the Haitians invited other slaves from other parts of the world to go to the island and be free men. And African Americans from New Orleans went down to the island of Saint Domingue, as it was called then.
Que no hicieron a la ciudad de Houston para nosotros representar esto.
He feels extremely honored. He wants to thank you. He feels very, very honored for being invited here to represent the art and artisanry of his hometown, La Vega, in the Dominican Republic. And he wants you to know that he's very, very content, very happy to have been invited here by the Houston community.
Y para nosotros,
he knows he's here to show you how to make masks, and he wants you to know that the basis of all of the masks that they make is clay, and the clay has to be prepared.
Cuando nosotros para saber cuando el barro está listo para preparar el molde, le hacemos así, y si no se pega en la mano es porque está bueno para trabajar.
To know that the clay has been prepared enough. It's like kneading dough for bread. That was my part, not his. But they know when the clay is ready, when they can stick their hand over it, pull their hand away, and it comes away clean. That's when the clay is.
Donde nosotros vamos a ir haciendo por parte cada elemento que tiene la careta, como boca, nariz, ceja, pómulo y cuernos.
So this is where he's going to add all of the details, the mouth.
Luego la nariz.
Then he makes the nose.
Las cejas.
The eye ridges.
Los pómulos.
The cheeks.
La oreja.
The ears.
Y por último los cuernos.
And finally, this clay base dry for several days because it's to this base that they're going to apply paper mache. And the paper mache will be the mask. This is just the mold.
Tenemos el molde.
With this mold,
utilizamos este producto que es almidón de yuca.
This is starch, yuca starch, that they use as a type of glue. It's made of yuca starch.
Pero el almidón viene en polvo.
It starts out as a powder. The yuca starch is separated from its liquid and as a powder.
Y para que quede así, tenemos que cocinarlo.
And he has to cook it.
Al papel le untamos entonces el almidón.
They're going to, he's going to put the paste on the paper, both front and back.
Pequeña trujadita.
And then he pretends he's washing clothes.
Vamos pegando por pedazos pequeños.
Using little pieces and a wooden spatula, he's going to glue the paper to the mold. He told me before too that he puts grease on the mold before he does it. El aceite.
Bueno. Para pegarle el papel, nosotros utilizamos una grasa que es la misma grasa que usan los vehículos para que pueda el papel, después que seque en el molde, pueda despegar del molde.
Yeah, so before he would put on this paper, he would first very carefully grease the mold with automotive oil, so that after the paper mache has dried, he can take it off more easily. See, I learned too. I just learned this yesterday, translating this from him. It reminded him of the missing step. So little by little, they go cutting around it and taking the mask off of the mold very, very carefully. Another layer of paper mache to put around the edges where it might get frayed, so that it'll make really nice clean edges and you don't see where it's been cut or frayed. A white acrylic base so that when they paint it, the colors show up much more vividly.
Clear uretano.
Okay, he uses automotive paint in this airbrush, to paint the colors. And then after they've finished all of the paint work, that's a clear acrylic.
Entonces le ponemos los ojos que son de bola de desodorante, de roll.
The balls from your roll-on deodorant. Paint them.
Y para la pupila de los ojos, nosotros lo hacemos, o sea, un área inmensa que uno puede usar cualquier tipo de elemento para decorar.
All kinds of elements they can use to decorate, but the it can take up to a month to complete. You need all the time for drying, for all the processes, etc. But because they work in an industrial manner, they work with groups, with comparsas, so that at 10, 15, 20 people, they'll make several molds, and they can actually produce, like 5 even in a day. Not from start to finish, but working on and through the process, complete 5 in a day. ¿Cuántas personas tiene trabajando contigo?
17 personas.
He has 17 people working with him in his workshop.